Teofimo Lopez has never been shy to share his opinions, and his most recent words against Shakur Stevenson have upset the boxing community. When the former unified lightweight champion said that Stevenson, the current WBC lightweight champion, is terrified to compete against him in the ring, he didn't mince words. Known for his explosive strength and aggressive personality, Lopez has made no secret of his desire to take on Stevenson, but he feels the unbeaten southpaw is avoiding him. Many fans and pundits are discussing whether Stevenson's careful approach to matchmaking is a hint of hesitancy or just clever career management in light of this charge. Given the two fighters' contrasting styles and personalities, Lopez's daring words have sparked what might turn into one of the most anticipated boxing rivalries. Examining the histories of both boxers and their journey to the top of the sport is key to comprehending the seriousness of Lopez's allegations. Before going pro in 2016, Teofimo Lopez made a mark with a fantastic amateur career. After a career-defining victory over Vasily Lomachenko in 2020 to become the unified lightweight champion, he immediately became well known for his knockout power and flashy style. But following a devastating setback to George Kambosos Jr., his career took a turn for the worst. He subsequently went up to 140 pounds, where he fought Josh Taylor to reclaim the title. Conversely, boxer Shakur Stevenson, who earned a silver medal at the 2016 Olympics, has established himself as one of the sport's most technically competent competitors. Stevenson has a spotless record and has won titles in 2 weight classes. His ring IQ and defensive prowess have made him a terror for opponents. Lopez and Stevenson's training schedules also reflect how differently they approach the sport. In order to enhance his knockout talents, Lopez routinely combines power drills and hard sparring sessions into his explosive, high-intensity training. His bluster and trash talk during training camps reflect his self-assured, combative fighting style. Stevenson, on the other hand, studies the sweet science and works on defensive drills, footwork, and precision. Similar to his meticulous counterpunching style in the ring, his training focuses a major emphasis on patience and strategy. If the two ever square off, these preparation contrasts might result in an interesting match, with Lopez's aggression taxing Stevenson's capacity for patience and strategic decision-making. Both men would be able to take advantage of the other's shortcomings in what would be a classic power versus technique fight. Despite having different career trajectories, each have established themselves as great boxers. Although Lopez's inconsistency since then has raised worries, his climb was fast, and his victory over Lomachenko confirmed his image as a pound-for-pound warrior. Stevenson, on the other hand, has been moving through the ranks steadily. He's been criticized for his lack of knockout power and entertaining battles, yet he has been dominating opponents with his technical prowess. This gap in job choices has spawned a verbal sparring match on social media, especially on X, previously Twitter, where the fighters have fired barbs over CV quality and authenticity. Stevenson has replied to Lopez's remarks about facing, quote, nobodies, by noting Lopez's defeats and casting doubt on his capacity to compete against elite opponents. Fan excitement in a hypothetical battle has only grown as a result of this online conflict. The stylistic contrast that promises pyrotechnics is only one of the numerous attractions of a Lopez-Stevenson game. Stevenson would have to either fight a firefight or use his defensive abilities to outmaneuver Lopez due to his aggressive power-punching style. While Lopez views it as an opportunity to recover his status as one of boxing's top stars, Stevenson sees a victory over Lopez as a way to silence detractors who believe he steers clear of risky battles. With big fan bases for both competitors and the potential to be the main attraction at a major pay-per-view event, the bout also has a lot of financial potential. Beyond the financial benefit, it's an opportunity for both to establish who is actually deserving of a spot among the sport's finest, with the victor probably securing more prominent bouts against opponents like Devin Haney or Gervonta Davis. The boxing community is anxious to see if this dream fight materializes, and the stakes are quite high. Lopez and Stevenson's verbal duel has been becoming more fierce, and neither side is giving up. Lopez has been vocally criticizing Stevenson for his cautious fighting style and low knockout rate, and his current charge that he is scared is just the most recent in a run of attacks. Never one to keep silent, Stevenson has responded by casting doubt on Lopez's mental toughness and using his defeats as evidence that he is not as powerful as he boasts. Fans and other combatants have responded to this back and forth in interviews and on social media. While some say that Stevenson's measured approach to his profession shouldn't be perceived as fear, others claim Lopez is seeking to bait Stevenson into the altercation. In any event, the two have reached a boiling point in their tension, and the ring is the only way to resolve it. Lopez feels confident because he thinks he has the means to undercut Stevenson's defense. He has claimed that Stevenson's fighting style is boring despite its efficacy, and that he will coerce him into a battle he doesn't want to be in. Stevenson, who likes to dictate the pace and dissect opponents from a distance, may find it tough to withstand Lopez's strength and persistent pressure. Supporters of Stevenson contend that Lopez's advantages would be nullified by his flexibility and tendency to aggravate belligerent fighters. Both men have avenues to win in this chess match of strategies, which is what makes the hypothetical combat so exciting. Stevenson would try to outbox Lopez over 12 rounds, while Lopez would have to cut off the ring and hit heavy blows. This is one of the most interesting boxing contests of all time because of the mental battle that goes on outside the ring. Critics have constantly questioned Stevenson's career decisions, suggesting he handpicked opponents to increase his record. In contrast to Lopez, who has continually pursued well-known opponents, his bouts versus less well-known opponents have garnered criticism. Stevenson is still growing his brand and waiting for the proper moments, according to his staff, which has supported his plan. Some have questioned whether Lopez's aggressive nature renders him vulnerable because he has taken chances, but also endured setbacks. A big feature of their rivalry is the disagreement over who has a stronger resume, which each combatant uses to disparage the other. Fans will keep discussing who is actually the superior fighter and who is avoiding the more challenging tasks until they resolve it in the ring. There is dispute in the boxing fraternity on who would prevail in a last bout between Lopez and Stevenson. Stevenson's followers emphasize his immaculate technique and capacity to neutralize aggressive fighters, while Lopez's supporters emphasize his explosive power and potential to subdue top opponents like Lomachenko. There is dispute among commentators about whether Lopez's pressure would be too much for Stevenson to handle, or whether Stevenson's defense and counterpunching would lead Lopez to make mistakes. Because both fighters have evident advantages and drawbacks that could be exploited against them, the matchup's unpredictable aspect is what draws so many people in. There is no doubt that, should this match go place, it will be among the most talked about occurrences in modern boxing history, and the victor will surely become a superstar. This battle is made more compelling by Lopez and Stevenson's personalities in addition to their boxing prowess. Stevenson is more reticent, but just as confident in his skills as Lopez, who is vocal, flamboyant, and not afraid to make controversy. With each man seeking to comprehend the other's ideas, their different personalities have made their exchanges must-watch entertainment for fans. Stevenson is unaffected by Lopez's trash language, which is designed to inspire a response. Since mental toughness is just as vital to high-stakes bouts as physical preparation, this psychological war could be a factor in any future fight. If this battle goes place, the build-up to it would be just as intriguing as the actual combat. Given that both fighters are at a turning point in their careers, the timing of this hypothetical battle is significant. After his ups and downs, Lopez wants to recover his status as a pound-for-pound player, and Stevenson wants to show that he is more than simply a defensive specialist. Either side's success would solidify their reputation and pave the path for future, more serious confrontations. A defeat, meanwhile, may be terrible, particularly for Lopez, who has already come under fire for his spotty performances. A loss would validate Stevenson's argument that he is unable of handling elite power punchers. Negotiations have been challenging because of the fight's high-risk, high-reward nature, but supporters are also desperate for it to happen. This kind of rivalry is important for boxing to reignite interest in the sport. Both boxers are under increasing pressure to justify their remarks in the ring as the verbal duel rages on. Stevenson is in a difficult position because of Lopez's recent remarks. If he doesn't take action, the scared narrative will persist. On the other side, Stevenson will have dramatically vindicated his naysayers if he takes the challenge and triumphs. Stevenson now has the decision of calling Lopez's bluff or risking being known as someone who shuns unpleasant conflicts. Lopez has an opportunity to recover his place as one of the sport's most intriguing figures. The boxing community is keeping a careful eye on this feud to see if it can be resolved within the squared circle, where it matters most. The Lopez-Stevenson conflict eventually comprises a battle of styles, egos, and legacies, rather than just two boxers exchanging words. This battle has all the makings of a contemporary boxing classic, regardless of when it takes place. Who will blink first is the only question that remains. Fans will be on the edge of their seats waiting for what may be one of the largest clashes in recent memory as the war of words continues until that time. There is little doubt that there will be pyrotechnics when these two ultimately cross paths.